Emo rap has been around for a while now, with many of the biggest and most streamed artists in the world using this sad, melodic, and sometimes straight up depressing cadence. But why is it so big? And where did it come from? Like many of these subgenres in hip-hop, many of these seem to come from the depth of SoundCloud, back in the 2010s when SoundCloud was at its absolute peak. Seemingly at this time, there was a new huge and incredibly diverse artist coming out of the woodwork every couple of months. Ski Mask, Trippie Redd, Smoke Pear, these were all artists that made a huge buzz during this SoundCloud era, but who started it? Once again, a quick Google search can give us some answers, and that answer is apparently Young Lean, which I don't think is necessarily wrong, but will probably cause some arguments in the comments. A few more questions: who is the king of emo rap? Is Lil Uzi Vert emo rap? Who started sad boy rap? All give us different answers, but despite all that, emo rap is seemingly here, and according to streaming numbers, here to stay. Before we get into breaking down the music part, first we're going to talk about the look. Pretty much all these rappers look like they're straight out of emo bands, with dyed hair and tattoos and long band t-shirts. Much of this aesthetic spanning from places like Tumblr, using that sort of grungy, grainy, sad boy aesthetic, and obviously gathering fans that dress the same way. This opens up hip-hop to a whole host of different styles, coming from what was traditionally hip-hop fashion to this, and this. And even in some cases, this. This kind of gives hip-hop now a universal feel, taking inspiration from almost every genre, meaning that if you're into country, there's probably a hip-hop artist out there that makes country, just with snares and hi-hats. I mean, look at Old Town Road. So let's dive specifically into some bigger artists, the Juice WRLDs, the XXXTentacions, and the Lil Peeps, of which have all unfortunately passed away, but where did they all come from? I think these are probably the three biggest pioneers of this genre to really bring this genre to the forefront of music, with these artists literally coming straight off SoundCloud and straight onto the radio and racking up some serious numbers. Whether you like these artists or not, it's undeniable how big they were, and actually still are. I mean, just look at this. So let's do a quick overview of Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD, or Jared Higgins, released his first song officially on SoundCloud in 2015 under the name Juice the Kid. Whilst this was his first official song, there was many videos of him sort of freestyling around the same time.
Pop like a black kid, I spit heat fast like a crackhead.
I'm stuck in lane, they don't want no smoke it off. Fuck that bitch off a perk, fucking I'ma smoke it off.
Which shows how long he was probably actually rapping before he started releasing this music. And now to this day, he's said to be one of the best freestylers of all time, even said by Eminem himself.
Like his freestyle he did on Westwood where he rapped for an hour, like what the?
If you haven't seen it, there's literally an hour-long freestyle, which for the most part just sounds like straight-up songs. It doesn't even really sound like freestyle. Mind-blowing. It's worth noting, in 2015, he would have been 17, which is insanely young to be doing this like sort of stuff. Juice WRLD's career spanned 5 total albums, 3 of his own albums, and then 2 to be posthumous albums, which was believed to be put together by Juice's label. Goodbye Good Riddance was released in 2018, which was arguably when Juice WRLD began to pop off due to 2 songs, All Girls Are the Same, and more notably, Lucid Dreams. Both of these songs having a sad undertone to the lyrics, with lyrics referencing breakups, taking drugs to feel better, of which stayed a pretty solid theme throughout his music, and thus began a kind of sad boy aesthetic. From here, these themes and topics sort of spread global, with most new and upcoming emo rap songs referencing these same things. Juice would go on to win Artist of the Year in 2019, sadly the year of his death, proving again that emo rap was here to stay. So let's break down some influences. For this, we are going to use Lil Peep. I think out of them all, Lil Peep showed the most love for his emo roots in his songs, with using many samples ripped straight from emo bands. As a result of this, he garnered a huge catalogue of sounds that exist just on SoundCloud due to copyright. But there is a long-ass playlist, and I mean long, of pretty much all of his songs he's ever done. So in terms of samples, a lot of Lil Peep's songs featured some huge punk and rock bands, samples from bands such as Underoath, Brand New, The Story So Far, Death Cab for Cutie, and even Oasis, showing how big of an influence these bands were on Lil Peep and his music. Despite making what is now considered hip-hop, he was pretty much just making rock music, just with trap drums on it. Once again, blending fan bases and suddenly bringing someone who was just into rock into hip-hop, bringing emo kids into rap. I think these two genres cross over so well, and was kind of always going to, with both of these genres kind of standing for the same things. Rock music is known to be rebellious, having an attitude, antisocial, and in a sense, this is pretty much what rap is. So the transition across really isn't too hard. It's not like going from death metal to then Ed Sheeran. It's just sort of shuffling along a bench or something like that. probably worth mentioning the anime affiliations with emo rap too. I literally have no explanation for this at all, but for whatever the reason, these emo rap songs just always seem to be paired with these sad emo gifs. Even this making its way into mainstream, with many now huge artists using anime as the album covers and wearing anime related things. I mean, just look at Lil Uzi's car, showing how much of an influence internet kids can really have on mainstream music. So where is it going from here? Since emo rap has sort of taken over so many of Spotify's biggest playlists, it seems once again that there is many more underground artists that are now pushing this genre out further and sort of running with this hypothetical emo ball. Artists like Scarlord, Ghostman and Suicide Boys going even further by using some straight up death metal samples, like some heavy which when you hear it for the first time, you just sort of like, what am I listening to? From here, I can only really see emo rap staying and getting bigger. I think it's such a huge niche that people have now carved out and love for one reason or another. And I think it's here to stay. So I think that pretty much covers it. What are your thoughts on emo rap? Do you like it? Do you not? If you do, maybe leave some of your favorite artists in the description. And let's share this sort of emo with people. So that's been it. Thanks for watching. Until next time.